Let's bring in senior Pentagon reporter Louis Martinez for more. Louis, what other supplies is the U.S. sending Israel right now, and how will we see them deployed?
Diane, we know that Israel has been asking for what are called precision-guided munitions. These would be bombs. These would be missiles that would be fired by fighter aircraft into Gaza. We know specifically they have asked for what are called small-diameter bombs, which have a lessened impact when they hit the ground. We also know that they are seeking artillery rounds. That indicates the potential that they're going to be used in some kind of a ground incursion, but they need that for their howitzer artillery so that they can launch firepower into Gaza.
Now, the State Department said the process of getting American citizens out of Gaza is happening quietly. What's the latest on those efforts, and what does that mean?
Well, there are tens of thousands of dual American and Palestinian citizens inside of Gaza, Diane, and so the effort is underway to try to reach out to them to try to figure out exactly how they can get out. The easiest way for them to get out would be through what's known as the Rafah crossing. That's right there on their southern border with Egypt. But there have been some military activity near that crossing itself, so it's unclear exactly whether it is going to remain open, and that is going to complicate things if the State Department is going to try to provide advance warnings to these Palestinian Americans to try to get out. So very complicated, and one of the reasons why, as State Department says, it's doing things quietly.
President Biden has said democracies like Israel and the United States are stronger and more secure when we act according to the rule of law. What message do you think he's trying to convey there?
I think it's the images that we're seeing, Diane. We're seeing these images of these very large explosions inside of Gaza. We hear that the Israelis are striking at what they call military targets, but the reality is that these large explosions are right there in very populated areas. So therefore, there is a very large possibility that civilians nearby might be falling injured to these kinds of airstrikes. So I think the message is from President Biden: follow the instructions of rule of law. International rules-based order calls for the preservation of civilian life, and I think that's the message that is conveyed in diplomatic speak by President Biden.
And National Security Advisor Jake Sullivan says no U.S. troops on the ground at this point. So does that mean that could change?
I think they're keeping the door open, and the reason why is, remember, deterrence. That's the big word that we're hearing. That's why the aircraft carrier is off the coast of Israel right now. That's why we're sending those F-15s and F-35s into the Middle East. And it's all about deterring Iran or Hezbollah from joining into this conflict. And so when he says that Israel has not asked for troops, that is accurate. But again, for a deterrence effect, they say that they keep their options open. But at this point, does not seem very likely.
All right, senior Pentagon reporter Louis Martinez, thank you.
Hi, everyone. George Stephanopoulos here. Thanks for checking out the ABC News YouTube channel. If you'd like to get more videos, show highlights, and watch live event coverage, click on the right over here to subscribe to our channel. And don't forget to download the ABC News app for breaking news alerts. Thanks for watching.